You are 25, not 30, not some guy in a corner office, 25. Sitting in a 2014 Ford Focus, engine off, gas station receipts still in the cup holder. Your phone just buzzed. One number. You don't say it out loud. You just sit there, windows up. Hands still on the wheel like you're still driving somewhere. You're not. You're parked in your parents' driveway. Same crack in the concrete your dad keeps saying he'll fix. Through the windshield you can see him. 60-something. Flat on a flattened Amazon box, under your car. Changing your oil yourself, because the shop wanted $40 for a $10 job. To him, that's basically theft. He has no idea what just landed in your account. You could tell him right now. Walk over, show him the screen. You don't. You just watch him work. Same hands that taught you to check your oil in this exact spot when you were 16. For about 4 minutes, it's still just a normal Tuesday. Then the phone buzzes again. One text. Your brother. Heard you sold. We should talk. You haven't told anyone. Not your girlfriend, not your roommate, not your mother. The deal closed 2 hours ago. The only people who know are lawyers and a bank. So how does your brother already know? You don't answer it. You put the phone face down on the passenger seat and get out of the car. Your dad hears the door. Doesn't look up. Grab me the 10 mil, he says. Should be on the shelf by the paint. So you go into the garage, find the wrench, bring it back out. For a second, standing there handing your father a tool, everything is normal again. This is the driveway you learned to ride a bike in. This is the man who taught you how to check tire pressure before every road trip you ever took. He tightens something under the car, grunts, asks if there's a funnel in there too. You go get the funnel, and for about 90 seconds, holding a plastic funnel in a cold garage, you are not a person who just wired 7 figures into a bank account. You're just a guy getting his dad a funnel. Then the phone buzzes again. You don't look. It buzzes a third time. You do. 3 texts now, all your brothers. The first 2 just repeat what he already said. We should talk. Call me when you can. The third one is 2 words. Don't forget. You stand there holding the funnel, and you read it twice, and you genuinely don't know what he means yet. What comes back to you instead, standing in a garage that smells like motor oil and cut grass, is a night almost 14 years ago. You were a kid with maybe nothing in your checking account. Your brother had less than that, and he drove 40 minutes in the cold, showed up at your door, and put 2 20s in your hand. Pay me back when you're a millionaire, he said. Laughing. Not serious. It was a joke between 2 broke kids. You didn't think about that text again for 14 years. You're thinking about it now. You bring the funnel out to your dad, hand it to him without a word. He takes it, doesn't look up, still under the car. Money is strange like that. It doesn't wait for you to be ready to talk about it. It just starts talking for you. You slide the funnel under the drain plug. Your dad guides it in place. Oil starts moving. Slow, dark, steady. Neither of you says anything for a while. That's the last quiet minute you're gonna get for a long time. Word travels the way it always does in your family, through your mother, who means well, who cannot keep a secret, the way a screen door cannot keep out a draft. By Saturday, everyone knows. So the family does what families do. They throw a cookout, folding tables in the backyard. Your uncle is burning burgers on purpose because that's just who he is. Somebody points out the black crust on the bun side. Your uncle doesn't even look up. That's flavor, he says. Every year, the same line. You laugh because you've heard it since you were 9, and it still works. Bluetooth speaker propped in a lawn chair playing whatever your cousin queued up. Kids running through a sprinkler that's been broken since last summer and still somehow works. Your aunt yells at somebody to turn the sprinkler off before it floods the tomatoes. Nobody turns it off. It's loud. It's warm. It's the kind of afternoon you would have loved a year ago. You move through it now differently. You feel it before you can name it. People watching you a beat longer than they used to. A pause before someone asks how you're doing, like they're deciding what version of the question to ask. Your brother finds you by the cooler. Beer in hand, big grin. Careful around this guy, he says, loud enough for the table to hear. He'll start charging you for rides now. The table laughs. You laugh too. That's the trap. It feels like love. It has the shape of love, The teasing, the whole family in on the joke. For 1 second, you let yourself believe nothing's changed. Your aunt hands you a burger. Somebody else passes you a beer. Your shoulders come down for the first time all day. Then your cousin, the one you barely talk to, the one who shows up mostly for the food, slides in next to you. Half joking, all the way serious. So when you start hiring, he says, "You'll think of family first, right?" He laughs. You laugh. Someone else laughs. A joke is just how people ask for something they're not brave enough to say out loud. You look back across the yard for your brother, for that grin. He's not grinning anymore. He's watching you laugh the cousin's joke off. And something crosses his face, fast, gone in under a second. Disappointment. He didn't want it to be a joke. He wanted it to land. You stand there holding a paper plate that's gone soft in your hand, and you realize something you're not ready for yet. The hardest conversation of your life hasn't happened. And it's gonna start with the one person who once gave you everything he had. You're not looking for him. That's what makes it worse. You're at a dealership for something boring. A recall notice on your Focus, 40 minutes you're never getting back. You're at the service desk, half asleep, when you see him through the glass. Your brother. Out on the lot. Walking a salesman down a row of trucks, the way a man walks when he wants to be seen walking. He hasn't noticed you yet. So you watch. And you do a kind of math you wish you didn't know how to do. You know his paycheck, you know his rent. You know roughly to the dollar what he can actually carry. The truck he's circling isn't something he can carry. It's something that'll carry him for about 4 months, then start carrying him under. Then he sees you. He doesn't look caught. He looks delighted. Waves you over, loud enough for the salesman to hear. "Tell me this isn't clean," he says, slapping the hood like he already owns it. You understand something in that second you didn't before. This was never about the truck. A week ago, he saw your car outside your new place. This is his answer. For 20 minutes, you watch your brother sell himself a vehicle he doesn't need to impress a brother who never asked him to. He says the price before the salesman does. Then he checks your face, just for a second, to see if it landed. You don't say any of this. You tell him it looks good. Because it does look good. That's not even a lie. He grins, that real grin, the old one, and for a second you almost believe the truck fixed something. You drive home behind him for the first mile until he turns off toward his place. You keep driving, and somewhere around the third red light, it hits you. The thing nobody explains about money changing hands in a family. People don't resent what you have. They resent what you're having. It says about the choices they made. Your brother isn't jealous of your bank account. He's renegotiating with himself about every decision that got him here instead of there. And the truck is just the receipt. He calls you, not a text this time, a call, wants you to come by, wants to run something by you. There's a softness in his voice you haven't heard since before the wire cleared. The old softness. And against everything you just watched on that lot, you want it to be real so badly that you say yes before you've even hung up. You shouldn't have. You sit at his kitchen table. Same table you've sat at 100 times. There's coffee. He's nervous in a way that almost makes you trust it, because the man on the lot wasn't nervous about anything. Then he says the number, something in the low 5 figures. Enough to matter. Not enough in his head to really ask for, because in his mind, he's not asking. He's collecting. 14 years quietly rearrange themselves at that table. 2 20s, then this. Pay me back when you're a millionaire. He lays out the plan, 80% confidence, 20% detail. The hardest part about lending money to family isn't the risk. It's that nobody signs the contract that everyone already thinks exists. This is the part where you're supposed to say no. For a second, you almost do. You think about the lot, the slapped hood, the price he said out loud just to watch your face. A quiet voice in you says, he doesn't want help, he wants to be even. You know that voice is right. You take out your phone under the table. You actually start typing it. I can't do this one, man. Not because you get that far. Then you delete it. Not because you changed your mind about the words. Because you look up and he's watching you type and something in his face is already bracing for it and you can't make yourself send the thing that's true while he's looking at you like that. You say yes anyway. You don't say yes to the deal. You couldn't explain the deal to a stranger in one sentence if you tried. You say yes to the face across the table, to the small, stupid, expensive chance that the money buys back the guy who drove 40 minutes in the cold for you. It's just money, you tell yourself. You, of all people, can afford to be wrong about this. The relief on his face almost makes it worth it. Almost. For a while, it actually works. 2 weeks in, your brother shows up at your place on a Sunday morning. No text first, no ask. He's got 2 coffees and a ladder strapped to that truck he can't really afford. Says he noticed your gutters were sagging the last time he drove by. Just climbs up and does it himself. 3 hours. Won't take $1 for it. Halfway up the ladder, he grins down at you. The real one, the 14-year-old one. I'm paying back every cent, you know that, right? You believe him. Completely. You let your guard down all the way. That's when it goes. The call comes next Sunday. Same time, almost like a ritual now. The deal that couldn't lose. Lost. All of it. There's no apology. No mention of the coffee, the ladder. There's something in his voice you've never heard before. He's explaining now, not asking. The first part was just to get in, he says. Pulling out now wastes it. You wouldn't even feel another. He says a number, like your money is a limb that's gone numb. You're not thinking about the number. You're thinking about the ladder still leaned against your house. The moment you hand money over without asking anything back, it stops being a gift. It becomes the baseline. So you tell him no. Your first real one. It comes out softer than you mean it to. He goes quiet. Says okay. Hangs up. 2 days of nothing. You start to think the no actually held. Then your mother calls, and she opens with a sentence that tells you exactly who got to her first. Why are you doing this to your brother? You don't even know how to answer that, because the question has already decided you're guilty before you say a word. You start to explain. The 5 figures. The deal that was lost. The second ask, the number he said, was that it wouldn't cost you anything. You hear her go quiet on the other end. Not listening quiet. Waiting quiet. Waiting for you to finish so she can say the thing she actually called to say. He's struggling, she says, and you have so much now. So much now. You want to tell her he didn't lose the money, he set it on fire and called you for gasoline. You don't. Because she's your mother. And because some part of you knows she isn't trying to be cruel, she's just standing where she's always stood between her 2 sons. Except now one of them has everything, and one of them has a story. And she's already decided which one needs her more. Wealth doesn't change the definition of enough for you. It changes it for everyone around you. I'll think about it, you say. You won't. But you say it anyway. After you hang up, you sit there a minute. Your brother didn't argue with your no. He didn't have to. He just walked down the hall to a room you can't enter and let your mother carry the message back for him. He's not fighting you anymore. He's recruiting. It spreads quietly after that. It's never one big fight. It's smaller than that. A text left on read for the first time in your life. An uncle who used to call you by your name is now calling you boss, with a laugh that has a small hook in it. None of it is big enough to point at. If you brought up any single piece of it, you'd sound paranoid. Rich and paranoid. So you say nothing. You just feel the temperature of every room drop 0.5 degree when you walk in. And in the middle of all of it, your father, who still hasn't said one word about any of this, shows up unannounced the way he does, for no reason at all. He doesn't need anything fixed, doesn't bring up the money. He just sits at your kitchen table for an hour, tells you a long, pointless story about a guy he used to work with, laughs at his own ending, rinses his cup, puts it in the rack, goes home, no ask, no, now that you can afford it. He drove over to do nothing but sit with you. You don't think much of it yet, you will. 11 days later, you almost don't go. You sit in the driveway first, same driveway where this whole thing started, and you think about turning the car around. You go in anyway. Because not going would be its own kind of confession. For an hour, it almost works. Everyone's careful. The conversation stays on the safe things. The food, the football game on low in the other room, whose kid needs braces. Your brother sits across the table, not next to you, which somebody arranged without saying so out loud. He's quieter than you've ever seen him. A few drinks in, deciding something. Your mother keeps the plates moving. Past this. Did you try that? Working a little too hard at it. Everyone can tell. Then it's nothing. A small thing. Your dad asks you plainly across the table how the new place is coming along. The only person all night who's asked you a normal question, like you're still just a normal person. Before you can answer, your brother sets down his fork. Must be nice, he says. Not loud. That's the thing. Almost gentle. The table doesn't go silent right away. A couple of people keep talking for a second, then trail off when they feel it. Your mother says his name once, soft, half a warning, half a plea. He's not looking at his food anymore. He's looking at you. We lost you the day that money came in, he says. You didn't get rich. You just stopped being one of us. And the part that actually lands, instead of just bouncing off, he's not shouting it. He believes it. He says it the way you say something you've been carrying around for months. Quiet. Almost sad. Like he's grieving you at your own dinner table. Nobody defends you. That's the second hit, right behind the first. Not because anyone agrees with him, because staying quiet is easier than picking a side out loud in front of everyone. You look at your mother. She's looking at her plate. You look for your dad. He's the only one still looking back at you. And for 1 second, before you can stop it, a thought goes through you that you're ashamed of. Maybe he's right. Maybe I changed. It's gone as fast as it came, but it leaves a mark. Because the cruelest part of an accusation you don't deserve is the half second you spend wondering if it's true. You set your napkin down, say something quiet about heading out. Nobody stops you. And that's the loneliest part of the whole night. How easy you are to let go. You're almost to your car when you hear a door open behind you. Footsteps on the gravel. Not fast, not your brother's. You don't turn around yet. You already know who they are. Your dad doesn't say anything about what just happened in there. He just stands with you in the cold for a second, looks at your car and says, "Drive safe. Call your mother in a few days." Then he pats the roof twice, the way he's done since you were 16, and goes back inside to a table that just cracked in half. That's the last normal conversation you have with him for 3 weeks. The call comes on a Wednesday. You'll always remember that it was a Wednesday, that the day had no reason to be the day. Your mother's voice is on the phone, and you can't understand the words at first. Only the shape of them. Hospital. Now, come now. You don't remember the drive. You remember the hallway. That specific quiet a hospital has at night. The way the floor shines. How loud your own shoes sound. Your brother's already there, leaning against the wall. For the first time in months, there's nothing between you. Just two guys in a hallway, both scared of the same thing. He looks at you, and his face does something it hasn't done since you were kids. It just breaks. You put a hand on his shoulder, and he lets you, and neither of you says one word about any of it. It's gone. The whole thing. Because it was never big enough to survive a hallway like this one. Your dad's awake, smaller than you've ever seen him. But awake. The worst of it has passed. He's tired, wants the room cleared for a minute, wants you. You sit in the chair beside the bed. You don't know what to say, so you say the dumb, true thing, that he scared you. He smiles a little at that. Then, in the plain voice of a man too tired to dress anything up, he says one sentence. "I took some money out a while back." He stops there, closes his eyes for a second like the sentence cost him something. It takes you a second to understand what he means. Then it lands. 2 years ago. Before your business turned the corner, he pulled money out of his 401k. Early. Full penalty. The kind of hit that follows a man for years on a fixed income. You never knew. You always thought the cushion that got you through that year was just savings. It wasn't extra. It was his retirement, folded quietly into the start of you. He never told you. Not when the business almost died. Not when it finally worked. You ask him the only thing you can get out. Why keep it a secret? Why let me think I did this on my own? He's quiet for a second. Then he tells you about his own brother, your uncle. A name you haven't heard at a holiday table in almost 20 years. I lent him money once, your dad says. A long time ago, and after that the money was just in the room with us. Every holiday, every phone call, sitting there like a third person at the table. He looks out the window. One day he just stopped coming around. It's easier to lose a brother than to sit across from a debt. I wasn't gonna do that to you, he says. So I made sure there was nothing to find. He's tired now. His eyes are already closing. Send your brother in, he says. You're both still mine. That's the whole sermon. The only thing he ever says about the war that almost split his family in half. He doesn't take a side. He never does. He just refuses to let there be one. Same driveway. He comes home a few days later. Slower, but okay. Nothing gets fixed exactly. Your brother never pays back what he owes. Your mother never brings up the phone call again. The family doesn't reset to who it was before the wire cleared. Families don't reset, they just find a new shape and keep going. But something in you has gone quiet. The scorecard you didn't even know you were keeping. It's just gone. Not because anyone earned it back. Because you finally know which kind of person each of them is, and you've stopped expecting any of them to be a different kind. It's a Saturday, a few months later. Your dad's car is making a sound he doesn't like. He's about to drive it to the shop. No, you tell him, you've got it. So you lie down on a flattened Amazon box in your own driveway and slide under your father's car. It's a $10 job. The shop would have charged $40. That was never really the reason. You're under there longer than the job actually takes. On your back, in the quiet, your hands doing the exact thing his hands did. You tighten the drain plug. Slide back out into the light. Your dad's standing on the porch, watching you. The account changed in one afternoon. The man underneath the car took 25 years.